Hey, welcome back to Happy Little Node Trees. I'm just currently working on some color grades out of the Lick Dev folder, so just playing around with some footage from something, and yeah, just kind of vibing with it and feeling it out. But I mean, the end goal here is these are, Lick Dev, and so Lick Dev always just ends up being that fodder place of grabbing a still and putting it up on Instagram at some point. So you can find me at greg.enright.colorist on Instagram. I don't know if any of you follow me there, but I am there, and yeah, I'm testing on a new mic setup, so hopefully this sounds good and this isn't a complete waste of my time. But this was something we were playing around with. If you look at this node tree here, it is this low contrast look that there's a couple artists that do it, and it was just me playing around with. So if we have this is our color balance. So just building a weird tree right here, and then so expo. All right. So what we have going on here is we actually have contour going with a bit of a strong contrast coming into it. Now, if we just turned off everything and looked at it, you would just see, oh, here is just what's going on into our OpenDRT. But we have this really strong contrast, and then we're rescaling that image. So you can see if we look down at our scopes, when I turn this on and off, what's happening is all those peaks and valleys on our custom curves down here that you can see, this is our waveform, everything's getting compressed into a smaller range, and that's being done by this little tool that I've been kind of fiddling around with and working on making it be something. So this chroma strength and chroma pinch, you can really fiddle around with making that saturation pop and fill in those midtones quite a bit. And so we're just kind of looking at what that's going on in our cube. It's kind of fattening out the bottom when you so you're pinching it down. You can actually invert it all the way down to a really cool black and white, but we're just giving that everything as much spread as we want, and then we can actually even tweak this and clean it up a little bit with how these settings on our chroma thing. So yeah, some of these sliders don't actually work the way they should, but just kind of working on dialing it in and figuring this thing out. But what it's doing is completely rescaling and softening our image. So you lose a lot of the range, but it still feels slightly graceful. I got a comment on the old Instagram that, what are you doing making it so desaturated? So this is another version of input of contour, and it kind of just depends. You don't really need it. Maybe we'll just come, I thought I changed the names of these. Node label, we'll just change that back to balance, and change this one back to expo, and maybe enter, and maybe those will be static now. We can reset those. Just kind of reset everything back to where they're at. And there we go. And so now you can see he's a little red in the face. I'm not too happy with that, and that's one of the things with balance. Sharpen also, it's just going to give us some edge back after we've softened everything quite a bit. And you can see we're just using the edge detect version of soften in here. I'm just going to add in those lines, pretty much make those sharp again, right, like so. But that's kind of what we have going on. And now we have this really soft image. I know sometimes an extra set of contour does do something. This one I don't feel like it is. So we're just going to go down and kind of work with our contrast. We're going to try to give it a little bit more beef, kind of stretch up that exposure a little bit. We're working in gamma linear, obviously. And so this is our nice little exposure. Just going to bring that brightness in. His face is a little off. I'm not too happy with that. We're probably going to pull his face around, or kind of just look at what we can do. Just might be noise. thinking like right around here. The question is, do you want it to feel like a warm summer? It's a green lake. Like, I really love how our hair feels, and we're just moving those things around. Let's go here so you can see what's going on down here. We're just kind of tweaking it. Next node can, oops, that's previous node. Next node, oh yeah, these are all out of order compared to my normal tree. We can just bring up this, kind of just sink that gamma down a little bit. It's not too shabby. I mean, his skin is a skin tone color. Hi. You can see how this works on a couple of other shots that we have going on here. And yeah, just kind of feeling it out. And looking at that look of how it makes it just that nice little bit of a softy of a look. And kind of just creams out the background quite a bit. Anyways, just some funsies playing around, and most of this will just end up being on the old Instagram at some point. So until next time, have a happy little no tree day, and try to make a low contrast look, because it's a little bit of fun.
Guys, can't touch me.
Sure can't.
How was your TJ when you came over? Is that what I thought it was? Yeah. Singing his home health patients.
Yeah, well, let's just reset this here, if you're still with me, and haven't left. Or we're picking up other noise, who knows. I'm just going to see what would we do if we were not doing a low contrast look, and we were actually just kind of playing around with making it be a normal thing. So if we would just reset this back to a normal look, we'll go over here, because I don't remember. Kind of pull here and just reset that so that we have that. And then normally we'd be just probably drawing up contour a little bit, maybe bring up that black point, and just kind of playing around, maybe do a little splitting, fill the curves, and we'll just kind of play with that a little bit. And it's this one, right? Yeah, slow pi, and then this guy is. So yeah, you can see we're kind of still looking like we're a little. Oh, we did darken it. That's fine. We're gonna have to come back underneath. And I need to relabel this because I've kind of changed my workflow. Yeah, let's just, mostly because I have to relabel it. I have to remember. So when you're thinking about working in linear, if you set your contrast first and then do your color balancing, you can't, and somebody asks you to make a change to the brightness, that kind of will affect your color balancing, whereas you can lock the color balancing in first, but still we want this to be a well-exposed image that we're balancing in, so we have to work on this node first, kind of just bring up exposure. You can see how we're working down here, and kind of just giving this a little love and getting it back and right. But then we come back to the previous node up here, which now I know it's labeled exposure, but these are kind of two operations both happening in linear, and we're just going to kind of work our balance. Let's make it a little bit more blue. I don't know. we're just kind of making our own thing here. And so now we have that as our image. Just a completely different look. We can come back to contour, maybe give it a little bit more crunch down in here. We can see how that toe length, I like to let the toe ride quite a bit. And we're just going to kind of go like that. Yeah, I like that. That feels nice and well-rounded. And so, yeah, we have that as our base, and that's kind of where our look is. We got that green out there, kind of give a little bit more push, spread to that green out there. Look at our scopes, see where we're sitting. It's not bad. And we'll just go over here back to our stills, where we're saving some options. And then, yeah, maybe... so he's quite balanced. Like, we look at that shirt. That shirt feels very white, very blue. And our neutral bias is kind of where it needs to be for that. But if we were just to go crazy and maybe just start playing around with our master sat strength and see how that kind of feels. Kind of just tweak a couple of these things. Just kind of have fun. Let's make something fun. What should we do? I don't know. Ooh, we did crank that green side up there, didn't we? Let's just go underneath. Kind of just giving it that richness. Now it's crazy. Our cube is getting filled out down there. And then we're probably going to have to come back, and that's balance. Gonna just give that a love. This is a very grainy image. Let's see what happens if we do some noise reduction. How that really fixes that out a little bit and smooths it out. Auto profile. Small area. Yeah, it kind of fixes some of the skin complexion issues. He's alright. I mean, it's a little red, but I mean, he's in shadow. I don't feel like it's too bad. But if we just bring that up a little bit. Kind of get in everything right around there. It's a little bit brighter. Let's try that out. Now you'll see, if you head over to Instagram, this image will probably be there someday. The little looks that we just did. And they will show up. So let's hop over. We're just going to keep working today. I read somewhere that people want more of that long-form, extraneous, stream of consciousness thought type of stuff. So I'm going to give it to you. I do. What is this one? This one, apply grade. Let's take a look at this. Oh, this is a 3-layer guy. Oh, this is red. We're going to have to fix that up. This is from a project I kind of consulted on, and I just have a little freedom to play around with all the footage. So what were we doing at the look level in this still that I just plopped on? Yeah, we were playing around here. We were playing around in the dirty. So let's just leave contrast and everything like where it's at. Let's just check out what's going on. Nothing's going on in these guys. They're all fine. And then our open DRT is coming out. So everything that looks weird in this image is coming from here. So let's just see what... So we are pushed... See if we bring that back a little bit. And what we're going to want to do is kind of just drift that back up out of yellow. Kind of get that more pure right there. That's a little bit better. And then what if we pull our cyan gamma around just bright, and then you see it in the forehead. Yeah, but then we're going to actually come under here and actually soften that contrast a little bit. It's not too shabby. I mean, it's something to work with. Were we doing anything in here? No. So we can actually do, let's just see, if we push yellow. Yeah, we start riding into that magenta range. And we can pull out that color and kind of bleach it down. And then our cyan, we can actually pull our cyan because we're going to push our blue away. It's not looking too shabby. Yeah, I'm kind of liking that. So yeah, I'm just curious, what are your thoughts? If you were still hanging out and watching this video all the way through to this point, what do you want to learn about color grading? I feel like I'm in a weird place right now where I'm just fiddling around and making things. Try to be. Sometimes it works and sometimes it doesn't. Do I like that? It's possible that I like that. It's also possible that I don't like that. It's probably possible that nobody's gonna like that. I don't know. Let's go to Jacked Man. So this is S-Log footage. This was where we just pulled the look from over here, which wasn't bad for Jacked Man. His skin is right on that skin tone line. He looks very nice and shiny. That is an interesting look, because the background, like, it just feels weird. Because, like, here's the thing: if we were to go with Jacked Man here and go, this is the look that we had, and then we're just going to go with, let's just do this. Let's apply this correct right here. We're just going to go back to here. We're actually going to stay, let's bring this into S-Log, S-Log 3. Yeah, so we still have that same gamma shift that's going on, and that's mostly due to here, but I mean, that's not bad. Like if you were to look at this and go, oh man, that feels green, I totally agree with you. Like, you can look at the scopes, it's so green, but is it wrong? Maybe that's how the lights are in that gym. You don't know. Like, that's the fun thing about this, is like, you get so hamstrung sometimes to be like, no, it needs to be teal and orange, it needs to look natural, it needs to look scene referred, but you can be so experimental with what things look like that this is to be if we neutralized some of that motion in the ocean, and he just looks tan, like that nice green cast. There's something about it that is intriguing. How it rolls through. Like, you look at our vector scope, we got some nice, like, swishing going on. We are cranked out on our blues, but that's okay. I don't know. Maybe it is, maybe it isn't. We could just take that. Right there. Maybe we can crank that green. What is that color? That's cool. So if we turn that off and just save that, we got that guy with our jackman. And that's just turning this back on and just adding a little bit more red saturation to our reds. We got a completely different vibe going on there. Could we make the background be blue? And I think that would have to come at this look level where we would be just spinning our look around and kind of making the background be bluer. And we have to be careful about his skin so that we're not pushing back into magenta. Not bad. It's got a completely different feel to it. And we can come back to where we were fiddling around here with a sat, and we're probably just pushing that red sat a little too hard. And the blue sat is just getting washed out. And you can see here, we're just balanced it. Come on, just bring it back. Highlights a little. Just pull those shadows. And then we can watch. A little overexposure on his chest is what always gets me. Now we got a nice blue look. So yeah. What do you think about that? Let's go look at another image. You want to jump it around and kind of make another look? If you're still hanging out, hop on, find some footage, play around. Let's talk about day for night. Because look at, we're at this fun little shot here. This is Sony S-Log footage. We can actually apply this grade here. Oh no, let's not do this one. It is nice though. It is so nice. Yeah, let's see what we got going on here. Got some new footage that I brought in for August. But yeah, this is, the reason this looks the way it does is because we're using that Technicolor DCTL that I've been working on, and that really makes this entire look be what it is, with just how we define all these little facets and these little controls that I've been working on. But yeah, it looks so nice. This is without it. This is with it. So cool. So cool. Yeah. Let's see here. What if we did that look to our guy here and just bring in that Technicolor leather grain? That's because it's B-Raw, not the S gamut. So it's going to be something like Blackmagic Wide Gamut, and we're going to go Blackmagic Film, and now we're way out of the line. This is going bad. This has gone south. Way blown out and overexposed. How do we bring it back? We gotta bring that back. Yeah, this isn't working here. Let's make him look like Jackman from one of our Jackman stills. Apply the grade. Not loving it. Not loving it. I don't know. I'm supposed to be working on the edit of a short film today, but I am doing this instead. Hopefully everything here is recording properly in what's going on, and it's not too noisy, it's not too grainy, and it's not too hollow. This is a new setup for my microphone. I'm kind of excited because it actually would be very nice to have it be what it is. I don't know. Oh, hootenanny, we're at 27 minutes of just fiddle farting around. Did we learn anything? Yeah, we did. We had to have, right? Let's apply this grade. Just good as a starting point. And we're gonna be like, all right, this is not good at all. So been playing around with, should we put scattered halation before our CST? That's been an idea and a thought that's been on my mind lately. We have this contour, like this was our kind of the base of that rescaler. We can actually take these down here, and you can see we got that nice little painterly effect going on here. This is from a short film that I worked on called The Delay. If I remember, I'll put the link in the description. But this is totally not the look that we did for that film. It is its own thing. Yeah, that is a cool little vibe going on there. So this was node label. This is going to be balance. And this is Expo. And we're going to just turn that on, but we're going to quickly go through without looking at the image, reset that, and kind of give a little bit more warmth into the shot. And then this one will be reset as well. Don't look at the image. We're going to bring down the brightness just a little bit and sag that gamma. Don't know which way we should go because we're so weird. We're so off the map with what we're doing right now. I might actually just want to use offset. No, don't do that. Yeah, not liking how the controls are feeling in this is the question. Are we in gamma? Yeah. Interesting. What is the sharpen doing? Yeah, you can see with that low contrast look, it gets so foggy, and this is just bringing back a lot of that definition that we're lacking. Kind of need it. And it just feels so... What would you do, and where would you do it? Would we tweak the rescaler at all? Yeah. Interesting. Let's grab that. And then we're just gonna go. Let's just go crazy. Oh, so this is a cube pusher. Was I doing some weird? No, this is volume curve actually. This is on or off. Let's do that. And just close out all these guys. Kind of reset it. This is what we would be like if we were just doing nothing. And now we're gonna just put in a couple nodes here. And this is, we have that halation going on. there. We don't really need noise reduction. We just turn these two on like that. And what we're going to do is, remember, this is our exposure, so we're going to get this nicely evenly exposed. Just get her slightly up out of there. In terms of paying attention to her skin tone, going to bring this down like so. And then we're going to balance. Kind of just bring our shot warm. This is kind of where we would have been if we had graded it originally. So the question is, if we go pull this tool in here as our main look dev option underneath our DRT, we would want, if this was a nighttime thing and we just took our red gamma down, see how it's like spinning the brightness? Like deep in the shadow, she's still red, but the bright parts of her face are starting to pull down to cyan. And that is the Pojami effect. So we don't really want to mess with anything else. But what we do want to do is probably now change the contrast. I don't think you'd ever get day for night out of this without doing some major damage. But anyways, I'm going to go off and go get something to drink. And yeah, I don't know. If you like this style, this is one of the styles of just me doing things. And making things. And seeing if I like it or not. Yeah. Oops. That is actually too bad. She looks weird on her side, but I'm just the perfect person to never want to stop talking. So, until next time, we'll see you. And have a happy little Notre Dame.